For you tonight, the mill in Canton will shut its doors this week, months after the company announced it would be closing the decades-old facility. The mayor of Canton posted on Twitter the mill will officially close at noon on Wednesday. The closing of the mill, which makes products like envelopes and printing paper, affects about 1,200 jobs in western North Carolina. And the closure will also affect some businesses in the upstate, which acted as suppliers to that mill. We're told some workers will stay behind after the closure to help with the cleanup. We'll keep you updated on that story.